Hello everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for rolling out the mat today with me. Today I will be talking about the third Yama. So we've been talking about the 8 limbs of yoga and the 5 Yamas, which is the first limb. So that kind of talks about how we respect and how we behave in the world around us. And so the first 3 Yamas I think are the most important. And that's probably why they're sequenced as they are. So 2 weeks ago we talked about ahimsa, which is non-violence, and that's very important right now, to be practicing non-violence towards others and towards yourself in thought, word, and action. And then last week we talked about satya, which means truthfulness, so being honest with yourself and others, but still being kind. And then this week I'm going to talk about Asteya, and the word Asteya means non-stealing. And so you might be like, well, what does stealing have to do with yoga? And so I'll tell you a little bit about that. And so Asteya is, in a sense, we're stealing from ourselves if we make a yoga pose fit our body instead of, So we really want to make a yoga pose fit for us, and we don't want to force our body into a yoga pose. And so if you force your body into a posture, you could be, in a sense, stealing your practice away from yourself because you're forcing your body into something and maybe causing injury. Other things, being on time. Being on time, that's maybe stealing time from other people, but of course in this kind of setting, you can join anytime. And then also not having jealousy for others within a practice. And so just knowing where your body lays and what your capabilities are, having honesty with yourself about where your body is. So while we're practicing today, let's just try to be content with where we are inside of our practice. And so today's mudra for Asteya, which is non-stealing or letting go, is just open hands. So this mudra is called the open hands mudra. And so it allows us to not be grasping more than we need. And so one of my favorite Asteya quotes is, "Only take what is given and do not take more than you need." Take what is given and do not do more than what you need. So as we just sit with our palms open to receive, open to give, a nice balance between the two. Let's start to close our eyes or lower the gaze down to the ground and start to bring some awareness to our breath. As you breathe in, pulling clean, fresh air into your lungs, receiving fresh energy. And as you breathe out, giving it all back. So there's a balance between giving and receiving. Inhaling, receiving and exhaling, giving it all back. Keep the flow of breath moving here, just breathing in, receiving fresh oxygen, fresh nutrients, and breathing out, giving it all back. With open palms, there's a balance between receiving and giving. Maybe start to tune in to which hand resonates best with giving. For me, it's my dominant hand. My right hand wants to give energy. My left hand feels more like the receiving side. So you might even imagine as you're just sitting that with every inhale while you're receiving, maybe that receiving hand is opening up to that energy. And as you're exhaling, that giving hand is pouring it back to the universe. Take 3 more breaths just like that, breathing in, breathing out, bringing ourselves into our body, into our breath, and into this moment. Now remember to listen to your body. Do what feels good inside of your body today. Don't steal that practice away from yourself by forcing yourself into things that feel uncomfortable. And feel free to be creative and expand your postures beyond what I show. With an inhale, let's go ahead and scoop the hands up in front of us. And as you exhale, float your hands back down towards your knees or towards your lap. Let's just do that 4 more times. Breathing in, lifting up, receiving. Exhaling, floating the hands back down, giving it all back. Beautiful work. Exhaling this last time to let your hands just rest on your knees. We're going to sweep our arms out to the side, kind of like you have someone reaching for you and pulling your arms out from your shoulder girdle. So feel like someone is pulling on your left arm and pulling on your right arm outward. Now from here, we are going to lean over to the left. And drop that left hand down and swing that right hand up until you feel a stretch. If you need to continue, you can always bend into that left elbow and feel yourself soften into the pose, making sure your right sit bone stays rooted. Let's take one last receiving inhale. Giving exhale, and with an inhale we'll sweep ourselves back up to center. Now let's reach those arms out once again like someone is pulling those arms out, and we'll start to lean to the right and reach the left hand up and over your head. And if you need to continue, soften your right shoulder, your right elbow, but make sure to keep your left sit bone rooted to the ground. Take a breath or two here, feel yourself stretching, finding that place of just a little discomfort, nothing that hurts. Be honest with yourself here, be kind. Inhale and bring yourself back to center. Nice work. Now if your legs have been crisscrossed the same way this whole time, let's crisscross them the other way. Give that other side a break. But if you get there and you're just like, no, I really don't like it that way, then you can come back to your favorite way. So it's up to you. It's your practice too. And so from here, let's bring our hands onto our knees. So if your legs are crisscrossed, that's fine. If you need your legs to be extended, please do that. So we're going to try and do some cats and cows here. So let's start with a cat. Grab onto your knees. Round your back towards the wall behind you. Look down towards your belly button. You should be edging towards your tailbone. And then let's roll forward. Open your heart, open your throat, and pull your elbows into your sides. Go ahead and round your back again. Maybe you like to inhale with cat. And maybe it's an exhale with cow. Or maybe it's reversed. So find the right rhythm for you. Just getting our spine, our pelvis to be rocking forward and backwards. The shoulders shrugging back, rolling forward. Rolling back, opening the throat, shoulders roll forward, opening the spine. Nice work. Let's bring ourselves back to center, and we're going to try to add that all together. So make your legs comfortable, however you need to do that. And we're going to visit the 4 directions. So let's go north, like 12 on a clock. And then we're going to lean out to the side. And then we'll rock our spine back to 6 on the clock. Go over to the 3, so then we'll go up to 12. So we're going counterclockwise here. We'll go over to the left, back through the spine, over to the right, and forward. Let's do it a couple more times, this time trying to really smooth out that circle. rocking to the back of the tailbone, rocking to the forward of the pelvis, to the sides, spine, shoulders, neck. It's like a chain. Everything's connected. Now let's go the other way too. So if you like that smooth movement, you can do that. If you prefer those kind of 4 directions, you can do that too. And so as long as that feels good, you can do that a couple times. If it's ever uncomfortable, just make the movement smaller. Or maybe that's a movement that doesn't work for your body today. Let's bring ourselves back to center very slowly. Let's do the same thing with our neck. So make your legs comfortable. Let's drop chin down to chest. We'll go the opposite way this time. So let's go over to the right. Lean your head back gently. And bring your head over to the left. Feel the right side of the neck stretch there. Chin to chest. Keep your shoulders lowered as you roll your head to the right. Lift your chin and nose. Roll your head to the left. And bring your chin back to chest. Now let's go the other way. Lean your head to the left. Roll your head back. Over to the right. Chin to chest. One more time around. Keep your shoulders dropped. And we'll roll our head back to center when you're ready. Now when you do come back to center, as we wait for everyone to kind of join us here, add some shoulder rolls. See how crunchy your shoulders are today. Start rolling them forward. And you can start to feel your waist moving with that. So let's bring more movement into the waist. Feel free to rearrange your legs. I can sit like this for a really long time, so please don't compare yourself to me. Move your legs however you need to. I'm going to take my right hand and bring it to the outside of my left knee or thigh. So if your legs are straight, same thing, knee or thigh, however they need to be. Bring your left hand to the mat behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, drop your shoulders, keeping your body kind of like that. Add a little tension, twisting the mid and lower spine. If you like that feeling, hold it. If you need to move with your breath, feel free to do that, like you're wringing yourself out. Maybe add the neck by looking over your left shoulder. Beautiful work. Let's swing ourselves back to center by taking your right hand and bringing it back behind you. And then we'll do the other side. Left hand to the outside of your right knee. Remember, your legs can be straight here. Let's sit up tall, relax the shoulders down from the ears, and we'll add a gentle twist into the mid-lower back. Remember, anything that hurts is not benefiting your body, so we want to stay in that zone of healing and not harming. Last breath, maybe look over your right shoulder if you're still there. And we'll unwind, come back to center. We're going to start to move down into hips and legs, so let's bend our knees, feet flat, knees bent, feet separated, so you know, the size of a yoga block could fit between your feet. And then we're going to rock our knees from right to left, back and forth. You want that opposite hip to lift up off the ground as you do that. And so we're going to add this little assist with our legs. And so if you've got a knee issue going on and there's any pain when you do this, just omit this variation. Let's drop our knees over to the left. You're going to pick up your left foot, that's your bottom foot, and hook it over top your right knee. We spend a lot of time externally rotated, so this is an internal rotation. It's pointed in. And you might feel that through the butt, through the hip, iliotibial band. So when you're ready, unhook, bring your knees over to the right, adjust your hips if needed, and same thing, the right foot is going to lift up and hook over the outside of your left knee, internally rotating there, stretching through the outer hamstring, iliotibial band, TFL, glutes. Go ahead and bring it back to center, rock it out a couple more times. This is kind of like a nice massage on the sides of the glutes too. Let's move into a Baddha Konasana or cobbler's position, feet together and knees apart. Here's more external rotations, so the knees are rotated outward. You can grab onto your feet, your toes, your ankles, the floor, and we're going to just kind of straighten up the spine, drop your shoulders down, and if you still need more stretch, lean into it. Any discomfort in the knees, build up some blankets and pillows and support those knees. And we'll just breathe a couple times, remembering our theme of Asteya, which means non-stealing. And so we want to give ourselves every benefit of this practice that we can, not take away any aspect. Giving, receiving, there's a nice balance in the breath. And so if holding this posture is not benefiting you, feel free to roll up. We're going to try some dynamic stretching now. So from here, with an inhale, lengthen your arms, and with an exhale, bend your elbows and lean in. So this is a dynamic stretch. Inhale, lengthen. You should come out of the stretch a little bit. And exhale, folding into the stretch a little bit. We'll do that 2 more times. Dynamically inhaling and lengthening. Exhaling, folding. Go ahead and press yourself back to center. I'm going to rotate forward on my mat here. And we'll take our right leg and extend it straight out in front of us. Keep your left knee bent if that's okay. Maybe support it with something if needed. We're going to head to knee position. So you have the option to slide down your leg or sweep your hands up to the sky first. Big receiving inhale. Exhaling and folding over top just the right leg. Forehead towards the knee. Couple more breaths. Breathing in and receiving fresh breath, fresh oxygen. Breathing out, softening your posture, letting go, giving it back. And remember, only take what you need. So if you need to rise up sooner than I tell you to, please do that. Let's take ourselves back up to the right knee. We're going to just twist that posture up a little bit. So right hand, right knee, left hand sweeps out. You want your arms to kind of sweep out like we did where someone is grabbing onto your wrists and pulling them apart. And then we're going to tip towards the right. Right hand towards the right shin or ankle or foot. Left hand sweeps up over the head so that it too is reaching towards your right foot. Relax your right shoulder, relax your jaw. Let's take some deep breaths, but remember, again, only take what you need. Expand your heart open, look up at the ceiling or gaze up. Your eyes don't have to be open to gaze. And let's inhale, bring ourselves back to center. Rotate back ahead. Let's do the other side. So extend your left leg out, wiggle those knees out if you need to. We're going to rebend the right knee, support it with a blanket if need be, adjust your hips if need be, so make adjustments. And either slide down your left leg or sweep the arms up first to make length in your body. Big receiving breath, giving it all back as you pour over top your left leg. Bow your forehead down, drop your chin towards your chest. And let's start to just give and receive that breath. Two more deep breaths, holding that Janu Sirshasana, head to knee pose. And let's inhale and walk ourselves, slide ourselves up to the left knee. We're going to reach that right hand out. So open your chest, pretend like someone is pulling on your wrist out to the sides, rotating through the body, and we're going to fold into the left leg. Left arm, left leg, so ankle, shin, toes. Right hand will sweep up and over your body, also reaching towards your left toes. Relax your right shoulder, your left shoulder, your head, your jaw. Open your chest. So I feel that all the way through my right side body and a little bit in my left inner thigh. And with an inhale, slide yourself up to center. Rotate back ahead and extend both legs out in front. Wiggle out those knees. Try to keep your knees and your toes pointed up at the ceiling, so we don't want them to drop out to the side and get lazy. We want to keep them active. You can either slide down both legs, or you can sweep your hands up to the sky first, and then fold over top, straightened legs for toes or ankles or shins, or perhaps using a strap if you would like. Try to bow your head down, reach the crown of your head towards your toes. Last breath here. And then we're going to make it dynamic for 3 breaths. With an inhale, sit up tall, straighten your spine, relax your shoulders. With an exhale, round over, look down at your knees or your belly button. Inhale, open your chest, shoulders down. Exhale, round over. Last time. Go ahead and slide up your legs, grab some water, some liquid close by, some tea. We're going to rotate to hands and knees and do some traditional cats and cows. All right. So hands spread for your traditional downward dogs and all of hand positions, but we're just doing a tabletop here. So I want you to practice that. So it's not that the weight is going through the heel of your hand, it's that it's going through the underside of your knuckles, through your fingertips, fingers spread equally apart. Now soft elbows, but not really bent. You don't want them to bend. Keep them somewhat straight, but not locked. And then we're just going to round that spine up like a mad cat. Turn your tailbone down. And then we'll do the opposite. Reaching your belly towards the floor, your heart forward, your crown up to the sky, your tailbone to the sky. Try it again, rounding the spine. Again, the opposite direction for cow. Back and forth a couple times. And then come back to center, and we're going to rock our ribs to the right as we look over our left shoulder towards our left heel. You might feel that on the outer right ribs and hip. Let's try it on the other side, looking over your right shoulder and sagging the ribs out to the left. A couple more times to each side. Unless there's any pain in your body, then your body might just be saying, not today, that's not a good pose for me today. And we'll lift ourselves up to a kneeling position. So if you need a blanket underneath your knees, make sure you've got one. We're going to be doing some lunging type positions today. So we're going to be moving with somatics, which is the way our body relates to our brain. The brain-body connection. So you can bring your hands to your heart center to keep those arms kind of, yogic if you'd like. Other options would be like cactus arms. And so that's going to build a lot of strength in the deltoid on top of the shoulders. And so we're just going to switch back and forth quite a few times, and it is difficult, so don't beat yourself up if you find yourself tipping over. And don't compare yourself to me. That would be stealing the practice from yourself. Just find a zone, stare at it, and we're just going to step our right foot forward first. Yeah, great job. And so from there, let's lunge a little deeper and make sure you can see your right big toe. Let's try the other side. So we're going to bring ourselves back, swing that right leg underneath, and swing that left leg around into a low lunge. It's hard. Yeah. So find that balance, look down at your left big toe. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart because my arms are getting a little tired. And then we're going to do the other side. So we'll just swing left leg around, right leg. Let's go in a little faster to the left leg. You go at your own pace, so however you can get there. I'm going forward with my left leg. I lunge, I sweep it back, step my right foot forward and lunge. But I always want to see my big toe on the inside of that foot that I'm lunging forward. Great job, everybody. We'll do it 2 more times on each side. So there's right and left. It's okay if you're on a different side than me. We don't have to match. We can all be individuals. There's my last lunge forward. Great job. It gets easier as you keep going. So let's drop our hands down, separate the knees, and find a gentle child's pose or a puppy pose. And we'll just take 3 breaths, just resting, and give yourself that permission to sink down into the floor with every exhale. So you're just going to sink a little deeper into the hips or sink a little deeper into the chest. Last breath here. Great job, everybody. Come on back to your tabletop. Walk your hands back, arrange your knees back into alignment. And we're going to extend just our right leg back behind us. We'll do this 3 times. Inhale, reach your toes back. Exhale, tap your elbow with your knee. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale and tap it. 1 more. And tap it. We're going to extend the leg back. Lift your right hand and try to put your right foot kind of where your right hand was. So that can be difficult. We're going to lift up 2 hands on the right knee. We're going back to where we were, hands at the heart. For a full extension, you can reach your hands up to the sky. And you might start to feel that happening, a stretch happening there on the left hip flexor. We're going to add the rotation here. So windmill your arms out. Your left arm goes forward, your right arm rotates back. Your chest rotates towards the right. You can look forward at your left hand or try to look back at your right hand. And then all we're going to do is bring that to the floor. So left hand comes down to the floor, right hand reaches up to the sky. Keep in that same position and bring yourself back to that center rotation. Left hand reaching forward, right hand reaching back. Right hand is going to drop down to the back left leg. So we're rotating backwards now. Right hand drops down, left hand reaches up. Look up at your left hand or find a spot where you can hold your gaze, hold your balance. Bring yourself back to the center. Bring yourself back facing forward. Both hands come down to the ground. Bring that right hand to the inside of your right leg, and we'll step that right foot back. And let's take a quick 3-breath child's pose or puppy pose. See how your left hip feels with all of that extra stretch. How the right thigh feels with all that extra strength. Next inhale, peel yourself up to center. Tuck your toes and roll yourself all the way up to your downward facing dog and start to stretch out both of your calf muscles. Reach your right leg all the way up to the sky. And if you have a blanket that you're using, step your right foot in front of your blanket, or step your right foot forward towards your hands. Keep your left back toe tucked with your heel lifted. And we're going to walk ourselves up to the top of the right knee. Maybe your hands come up to your heart. Perhaps you can swing them up to the sky. Let's take a couple breaths, just sinking a little deeper into that right knee and feeling that left hip flexor stretch. Now from here, we're going to bring our hands down to the heart and step the left foot forward to meet the right. And let's walk it out a little bit. I know we've only done one side. Don't worry, we'll get both sides done. Let's stand at the top of our mat. Make any adjustments in your body. Notice the different sensations on each side of the body. So I'm feeling a lot of warmth, a lot of heat in the front of my left thigh. And we're about to reverse all of that and allow it to be balanced so that we don't steal from one side of the body. Inhale here, heart center. Exhale, a giving breath back to the universe. Inhale, sweep the hands out, up and overhead. And as you exhale, float the hands down in front, out to the sides, whatever you like, as you fold over top softened legs. So remember, softened can still mean straight. It just doesn't mean locked. If it hurts at all, bend your knees deeper. And from here, let's lift halfway. Take a big inhale, hands to the shins, lengthen your spine. Big exhale, folding back forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, pressing yourself up halfway. Exhaling, folding forward. Things might feel weird because we've only really stretched half of our body. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And let's balance it out. So keep your left foot right here, right where it is. And step your right foot back, maybe behind your blanket if you're using one. So now your left foot's forward, your right foot's back, and we'll drop our right knee onto the floor. Untuck your toes, and let's work our hands up to the top of our left knee. Make sure you can still see your left big toe on the inside of that knee. Maybe your hands will lift to the heart eventually. Maybe they even lift up overhead. We'll spend 2 more breaths just sitting in this position, feeling the burning here in your left thigh and the stretching in your right thigh. The core engaged, knitting the ribs, pulling everything to the center. We're going to windmill our arms. So open your arms out to the side, and we're going to rotate to the left. So that means right arm forward, left arm back. Staying in this position with the legs just lunging. And it's burning. I'm there with you. Let's fold forward, windmilling the right hand up to the right hand down to the floor and the left hand up to the sky. Nice. So I'm looking up at my left hand. Nice and strong through the right hand, down on the floor. We're going to stay in that position, push through this left foot. It's hard, it's getting tired. Back up to that original twisting position. And then we're going to go backwards. It's hard. I'm right there with you, tipping over. And then we're going to take our right hand up to the sky, left hand down to the back leg. So that's my right leg. Do your best to just open your heart. Try not to collapse in your lower back. Lunge a little deeper in your left knee. And let's bring it back to the original position. Rotate your body forward. And hands are going to come back down to the mat. Nice job. So from here, we're going to take this left leg and we're going to swing it back to tabletop. We're going to do our three nice little extended cats here. So with an inhale, reach that left leg back. With an exhale, tap your left elbow with your knee. Inhale, reach it straight back. Point your toes back. Exhale, tap your knee. Last time. Reach that leg back as far back as you can, and we'll drop our knee down to the floor. Tuck your toes, roll up to downward facing dog, and pedal it out. Reach your left heel up to the sky. We're going to try to step that left foot in front of our blanket or towards the left hand. Keep your right heel lifted and your right toes tucked. Press through the foot. Bring your hands up to the top of the left knee. Hands to the heart. If you're feeling balanced, hands can reach up overhead. Soften through that left knee a little bit deeper, really building some strength in this left leg, stretching into the right. All we're going to do is step our right foot forward when you're ready to close up that session here. Not the whole session, just that salutation. So bring yourself back to center, stepping forward, walk it out. Let's do a traditional sun salutation here. Inhale right here at the heart. Exhale, hands to the side. Inhale out in front or out to the sides, up over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees as you go. Look down at your toes, reach down for the floor for a block. With an inhale, let's lift up halfway, flat back. Lengthen legs but not locked. Lengthen arms but not locked. One more breath. Pull that belly button in. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to the mat, so bend your knees enough to get them there. Step one foot back and then the other for your famous downward facing dog. And we're going to just walk the heels down to the floor one at a time, pressing the left heel down, the right heel down, back and forth. Roll up to your tippy toes. Allow that energy to roll over your hips and through your shoulders into a plank position. So if you need to walk your feet back or hands forward a little bit, you can. Don't let your hips sag. Keep them lifted, flat. I'm going to lower my knees to the mat. You can keep yours lifted if you like. And we can lower ourselves, our chest, our belly onto the mat. With an inhale, look forward. Maybe push into your hands a little bit. Exhale, forward, back, belly onto the floor. And then we'll tuck those toes, roll up to hands and knees. And let's take a short little intermission here with a child's pose. Couple breaths as we just start to settle down into the mat and just start to let our hips kind of recognize all the work that we've done thus far. Beautiful work. Peel yourself up, hands and knees. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up to the sky, reaching your heel as high as you can. Step your right foot in front of your blanket or towards your hands. Drop your left knee down onto that blanket. Untuck your left toes. Bring your hands up to your knee. Get your balance. Hands to your heart. Hands up overhead. Open your arms out wide and twist to the right. That means left hand forward, right hand back. We're going to go reverse first this time. So that means right hand comes down to the back left leg. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, go the opposite direction. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky. Rotate the chest forward, both hands down on either side of that right foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, place your hands flat, and slide your right foot back, downward facing dog. Other side, reach your left heel as high as you can. Step that left foot in front of your blanket towards your hands. Drop your right knee onto the blanket and untuck your toes. Hands come up to the left knee. Heart. Sweep your hands up. Inhale. Exhale, arms come straight out to the side, teed out to the side, and then we rotate to the left. Reverse first. Left hand comes down to the thigh, right hand reaches up to the sky. Open that right side body. Exhale, rotate all the way down, right hand to the floor, left hand to the sky. Good. One more breath in that rotation. Nice strong right arm. Rotate downward. Left hand on the outside of the left leg. Tuck your right toe. Lift your back right knee. Hands to the floor. Slide it back. Downward dog. We'll stretch out each leg. Right heel reaches up to the sky. As high as you can. Bend your knee and open the hip so that you feel a little bit on top of the thigh and the quad. Lengthen the leg back up and drop it down. Left leg reaches up, heel to the sky as high as you can. Bend your knee, open your hip. Feel that in the front of your thigh. You're pushing through your hands. Lengthen back up and drop your left toes. Look towards your hands, bend your knees, start to walk forward, hop forward, whatever you're ready for in your practice. You might walk your hands back towards your feet a little if need be. We'll take an inhale and lift halfway. And an exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and really slowly start to roll up. Keep breathing in and out. Hands will reach up to the sky. And eventually we'll meet with our hands at our heart center. I'm going to rotate towards the camera here. And so, adjust anything, any clothing if it rides up. This jacket has a big collar, so I always find it in my face. And so we're going to do a couple standing neck stretches here, so make sure your knees stay somewhat soft while we're doing this. We don't want them to lock. And so we're going to interlace our hands behind our back. Lengthen those arms back. Open your chest up. Nice. Bring yourself back to standing, but with your hands still grasped behind you. And we're going to bring those hands over into the right waist. So your left elbow is binded behind your back. So that it looks like this. Yeah. Alright, so they're on the right side of your waist. And then what we're going to do is lean our head to the right. And you should feel a stretch start to go down that side of the neck. That left side, all the way from the ear to the shoulder. And I love to lift my chin up while my head is leaning to the right. And draw my chin forward with my head leaning to the right. Make sure your knees stay soft. I'm finding mine locking, so that's why I say that. So I just make sure I bend at least one knee. Awesome work. Bring your head back to center. Bring your arms back behind you and slide them over into the left side of the waist. And we'll lean our head to the left as well. You feel that big stretch all the way from, I feel it on my jaw almost on this right side. So jaw, ear area, down through the side of the neck, into the top of the shoulder. And again, we want to keep that receiving and giving breath moving in and out, and maybe rocking the head forward and backward. Only take what you need, so if you need to add more on, feel free to do that. If you need to stay longer, feel free to do that. When you are ready to bring your head to center, do that. And release the arms completely. We're going to do one more half salutation, getting ourselves to plank. If you want to finish up with the vinyasa, feel free. Hands come to heart center. Remember to be kind to yourself, be compassionate, be honest, and indulge in every aspect of your life and your practice. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the sides of your body. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, soft knees, hips back, heart forward. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees back into a forward fold. Step those feet back one at a time for downward facing dog. If you'd like to continue on with the vinyasa, feel free to do that. Those who want to rest, come to child's pose. The vinyasa is plank, chaturanga, heart lift of your choice, Sphinx Cobra up dog, rolling back over to the downward dog. And then we'll meet resting on hands and knees and finding puppy pose with hips lifted, heart melted, or child's pose. Hips and heart melted as close to the ground as you can. I like to stack my hands, stack my palms, and let my forehead rest on the tops of the hands. Come back to that giving, receiving breath. And from here, let's start to peel ourselves up, tabletop, and we'll make our way onto our back. Again, maybe grab some liquid on your way down. If you're using a blanket, you can slide it back and it now becomes a pillow. Or maybe you want to use it for its purpose as a blanket over your feet. So I want to give everyone permission to, do any extra postures that you feel you might need. I'm going to finish up with knees bent, feet flat. I'm going to do a couple bridges, pressing through the feet, pressing through the neck and the head, and just kind of releasing the mid, low back. And then start rocking the knees from side to side. Just like we did in the beginning when we were seated. This time just laying down, both knees rock to the left, both knees rock to the right. Next time that you knock your knees over to the left, keep them there for a moment. If you'd like to add that variation that we tried seated, then take your left leg, the one on the bottom, pull it out and hook it on top of that right knee and assist that right knee into a little bit more internal rotation. If it hurts, don't do that. Be kind, be honest. Don't steal from yourself by forcing yourself into that posture. Make your body, you don't want to make your body fit the pose, we want to make the pose fit your body. When you're ready, unhook everything and rock your knees over to the right. The right foot will pick up and hook on the outer top edge of your left knee. And then we'll unhook it and come back to center. Rock it out a couple more times if needed. Extend your arms down to the sides. Pretend like someone is reaching for those wrists and pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. And let your arms just rest. Feel free to keep your feet flat if needed. Roll up a blanket. Place it under your knees if you need. Have a bolster handy if you like. And we'll find our best version of Shavasana, our most comfortable version. We'll lay here for about 3 minutes. So close your eyes and receive and give your breath. Open palms. Receiving and giving palms. Notice if any tension is growing in your jaw, in your face, your hands, hips, and feet. Challenge yourself to lay on your yoga mat in complete stillness other than your breath moving in and moving out. It's very difficult. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the wrists, the toes and the ankles. And let's sweep our hands up overhead and point our toes down below and stretch the body from hands, head, to toes. And relax. Just lay for a moment. When we feel connected to the vastness of life and confident of life's abundance, we're naturally generous and we're able to practice Asteya, which is non-stealing. So feel connected to the vastness of life. If you'd like to, you can roll to a side. Some people choose to just roll up to a seat, so I want you to honor your own way and your own body. Feel free to take more time and rock your body from side to side or lay longer if you need. If you'd like to roll to a side, feel free. Eventually, we'll meet back in a seated position. Or perhaps you choose to stay laying the entire time. That's okay too. Any position really works. So taking that time to practice ahimsa, which is non-violence, non-harming. Be kind to your body. Listen to your body. Be honest with what you need right now, today. Lao Tzu says that Asteya is being content with what you have, rejoicing in the way that things are. When you realize that there's nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Take only what you need. And so now the hard part is, how do we take this off the mat and into our lives? Ahimsa, be kind. Be compassionate. Satya, be kind, be compassionate, but also be honest and be truthful with yourself and others. And don't steal. Only take what you need. The overabundance can be too much as well. So try not to waste. Try to give and receive equally in all relationships. I thank each one of you today for joining me here, for rolling out your mat today, for listening to your body, honoring your body, being kind, being honest. And thank you so much for indulging today. In yoga, we say the word namaste, which means the supreme sweetness and the divine light that exists inside of my own heart and soul honors and acknowledges the exact same light inside of each one of you. I bow to the beam of light in you, in me, inside this entire universe. Thank you so much for being here today. Namaste. And shukriya, thank you so much. Please take your time rising from the practice. Lay back down if you need to. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.